Um, but yeah, so this time we're going to chat with Jeremy. He's one of you. You probably know him already. He is one of our most active members on the Facebook group. He's always there helping people with technical issues and all sorts of questions that pop up in there. So yeah, so why don't we just go ahead and Jay, you introduce yourself and what you do.
Sure. Hi, Arindo. Hi, everybody. On Facebook, my name is Jay Hanlon, and I'm with a company called WaaSHero. And we are a development company that started about 5, 6 years ago as a small team. And we have just slowly grown over the years. We have always been in the multi-site niche. And with the um, advantage of finding WP Ultimo, we have just securely moved into that WAS building niche, and I've even started producing some plugins for it. And I would say that's now the WaaSHero thing is multi-site.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and that's actually we decided to talk because you guys released a very interesting product in the past days.
Yeah.
But that's not really the first product that you guys released for the WAS niche and WP Ultimo, right? So one
Correct.
of the big hits was Step Builder for
Yes.
WP Ultimo, which is amazing because it was something that we planned to do, and we
Yeah.
actually just left the disable button there, like add new step.
Yeah, I saw in Customizer. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we never got to it. So it was amazing when we saw that you guys have released it, and that product it's now how many months old? Uh,
Oh, I guess it's coming on 7, 8 months,
oh,
probably. Um, but I would say at first, and it's kind of funny how we've ended up building our plugins has always been based on clients' needs. So we're building a
mhm.
WAS, and we have a client that says, "I want to do this," right? So that's where Step Builder first came about. Is we used to um, use the Pro Sites plugin a lot, and that's typically for the first couple of years, at least that was our go-to, is that whole system, WPMU dev, and it just caused issues. The pricing table alone, trying to style it was a nightmare. I don't know if any of you have worked with that in the past. So when we first found WP Ultimo, it was just like angels singing in heaven, and so we started recommending that to our clients. And one of the first things that the client needed was, well, I want to collect my own data, at sign up. And then we did another job, and they said the same thing. And so now our PHP script and our knowledge of Ultimo was growing as we continue to develop these. And at one point we were in the group, and there were so many people, asking about how to customize it or brand it. We thought, okay, this is a space that we can fill. We already have all the code for this. Let's put it into a plugin. So, and that's the same thing that happened with our new plugin, Template Hero. Is we keep seeing this major need where people are saying, I have all these designs. How do I separate my designs per plan, or how do I keep all my designs in one area and update those, and then they update across my whole network? These seemingly simple issues didn't have any solution. So that's where we came up with Template Hero, was as a solution for this need in our niche.
Yeah, Yeah, that's good because it is actually like as a product developer, it's great when you see people using your product, especially on the WordPress space. But the feeling that you actually like the first time I thought that yeah maybe we're onto something here. It was when we saw developers like yourself starting to release products for a product that we have released.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that I remember that day, like it was such a great feeling because like this guy is developing a product that it enhances something that we've built. So having this ecosystem start to form
yes,
around WP Ultimo truly becoming a platform,
yes.
that's a really great feeling.
It's important. It's amazing. I mean, there is nothing on the market right now that competes with WP Ultimo, the power, the ease of use, the extendability. So, I mean, I'm sure everybody who's made it to this group knows that. That's why we're here. And I love that the ecosystem is growing, and that you know, you can just Google now, and Ultimo is starting to show up everywhere. There's you know, videos on YouTube, and proud of you guys. So
Thank you.
you guys, yeah, you know, obviously I'm very active in the group, and I have 100% belief in Ultimo. And if we didn't believe in the future of it, we wouldn't spend so much time developing for it, right? So, um, you know, I relate with you on the feeling of getting somebody you know, out there that you don't even know, and they're extending your work, and they're you know, broadening the scope. I love that. It's something that we did with Template Hero. Um, we put a lot of hooks and filters into the plugin so that it can be easily extended by developers out there. Kind of taking our cue from you, Orindo, and making sure that you know, it's developer friendly, and that not just users but also developers will want to pick it up and build stuff for it.
So we'll be talking about a lot about template hero that, template hero this, but
Yeah,
yeah, so maybe you could explain a bit more
sure.
in detail
Yeah,
what it
let
does
me
and
let me
how it
back
works.
up into it. I guess I get so excited about it, and I just catch me if I ramble. So it's we are building one for Beaver Builder, Oxygen, possibly Brizzy, and right now we have Template Hero for Elementor, and you can use it with Elementor or Elementor Pro. The only difference is the access to the modules. So if you're using Elementor Pro, it's going to allow you to use the theme builder for the header and the footer, as well as other blocks.
Mhm.
Um, so it's a very easy premise. You know, right now the Elementor library is pretty powerful. When you sign up for Elementor Pro and you install it and you go to design a page with it, you'll see that they have some very nice pre-built page templates populating their library.
Mhm.
And they make it really easy for users. You know, you can click on it and you can see a live preview of it before you import it, or you can just click insert and it'll put that whole design into your page, right? Really powerful feature from Elementor. And they also have that for sections and blocks. So say you just want to import a simple pricing table that's pre-built, right? So that's a huge advantage of Elementor Pro, is you get this nice library of pre-built templates.
Mhm.
um, One thing that we always wanted to see it do is for us to be able to add our own templates in. And the excuse me, the functionality they have for your own templates is, I'll just say it, I think it's weak compared to their templating, right? You have this little tab that says my templates, you have no preview,
Yeah.
no image, nothing. And you know, you have to manually import and export all your templates. And say you have an update in design, you would actually have to update it, save it, export it, import it.
Yeah,
Right? I
I've
mean,
been there.
it's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So with Template Hero, we are attempting to solve a couple of these things, right? So number one is we want you to be able to put your own template library there instead of having to use Elementor's library, right? And so this is just this basic one function is very powerful for WaaS owners. So I'll give it a quick example. So say you have a niche for like Michael, I've seen where he has a great car detailing niche, right? And so, you know, you have these detail companies that are coming to sign up for your website. So what you can do is you can use Template Hero to create a specific design library for each plan, right? So you can create a WP Ultimo, say plan 1, and that's basic. And so on that subsite, you can attach a Template Hero library with say 10 pre-designed pages and a few blocks, right? And that's specific for that plan. Now, here's the powerful part. You can make another custom set of designs, another library for plan 2, and have say 20 different page templates and 10 different blocks pre-designed for that plan, right? So now you're able to deliver specifically built designs per plan. Super powerful. Um, and and so here comes another issue that we were dealing with. So we would put custom templates in for one of our WaaS owners, and then he said, okay, that's cool. You know, but I actually have a couple design updates.
Mm.
So if we can get those in. And so we realized quickly, okay, wait, we're back to having to export those, send them out to our users, tell them, try and teach them how to import these designs into Elementor, right? So that's another huge advantage of Template Hero is you have a cloud library that you've built, and anytime you update those designs in your library, it pushes those updates to all of your clients,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you can keep your designs updated across all your client sites. Now, if they've already used that design in a page, it's not going to change their page, right?
Awesome.
But it
Yeah.
keeps, yeah, it keeps your whole library updated, and you can push more templates or you can change templates, and then just click the refresh library button and it's done. Very, very lightweight and easy to use.
Yeah, sounds good. You mentioned that you can create different sets of templates for each WP Ultimo plan.
Yes,
But if I understood correctly, the product itself, it doesn't require WP Ultimo. You can use it
correct.
to solve all of those problems, even if you're not using
Yeah,
trying to build a raw setup.
yeah, there's, you know, as a developer, a product developer, and also as a company that helps customers build their businesses, um, I think I have a unique perspective in that we have the opportunity to look at what other developers are doing, what other plugins are doing, and see what we like, see what we don't like, and include that. So, for instance, one thing that we really like that Beaver Builder does is they have an automatic function where if you are installing it on a multi-site, it creates a multi-site admin menu,
Okay.
and it allows you to have multi-site options that aren't there on a single site. So for instance, if you want to use a library across the whole network, with Beaver Builder, you know, you want to use your main site settings on every sub-site, Beaver Builder allows you to do that. So we took a cue from that and we did something similar where we have a very simple method in Template Hero that sees if you're installing it on a single site or a multi-site, and will change your options up a little bit depending on what you have it installed on.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if it is multi-site and you're running WP Ultimo, it's going to know that it's a network, and it's going to give you a couple extra setting options for that. Now, if it's just a single site, those settings aren't there, and it reverts to a very simple single site setting menu.
Mm-hmm.
So not only is it definitely compatible with single sites as well, but we made it really simple where the settings will change a little bit depending on how you have it installed. So just to keep any confusion, out of it.
Yeah. Is there any reason why you guys decided to go with Elementor first? Because I would imagine that there's a similar need for other page builders as well.
Yeah, well, we do have a version for Beaver Builder in the works. Now,
Okay.
with Beaver Builder, first of all, they have a fundamentally different approach to the way that they code, right? If you dig in, I mean, two different worlds
Yeah.
of HP, right? Just completely different approach. We've done a lot of extending Beaver Builder in the past. Their license, as we know, is a little more multi-site friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And they already have some functionality in place if you want to put your custom templates in. So when we went into some of the forums that we're in and in the groups that we were in, and we were exploring and just asking questions, it seemed that more people had already found ways to do what they needed with Beaver, where with the Elementor group, nobody. It's just there is no solution other than exporting, importing, and doing this whole rigmarole. So
Mm-hmm.
I think mainly it was based on lack of support. Where can we help the most? And then it also is based a little bit on the need and the feedback that we had from users.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, as soon as you put something out, everybody goes, oh, but
Yeah.
Oxygen, oh,
Yeah.
but Beaver Builder. And we figured that would probably happen at least with Beaver Builder.
Mm-hmm.
So we are pleased to say we should have a version for Beaver Builder out within hopefully 2-3 weeks. You know how giving dates is
Yeah.
live. I'm a little hesitant, but
Yeah.
about 2-3 weeks away, we'll have the Beaver Builder plugin. We already have a working version that simply inserts templates, but what we're doing is we're adding a functionality to bring it up on the level of Elementor. So the ability to
Okay.
separate in between blocks and pages and sort by tags and categories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that, and also to have a live preview because Beaver Builder doesn't have a live preview. So we're trying to sneak that in as well.
Oh,
And it should be pretty cool. We had a good meeting last night with our devs. So, I mean, it's looking good. I'm excited about it.
yeah, it sounds good. If I understood correctly, the product it's actually twofold, where you have like a main plugin where in a specific site where you're going to
Yes,
create your templates, and then you have a client plugin that it's basically pulling off that info from the
yes,
main site and doing
exactly.
that thing. Um, I actually forgot where I was. Okay. So, are you guys planning to do something like hosting the templates yourselves? So maybe like a subscription thing. Or...
Yes, that's a great question, actually. So using WP Ultimo, of course, we have a WAS set up that is on a high-powered server um, that has, a good amount of storage space. And it's a very simple WAS we built to host these servers. So we're using our own version of the plugin. And right now, a customer can come on and choose. It should be launched next week. So when I say right now, it's because it's built, but it's not public yet.
Okay.
Um, they'll be able to choose between one of three plans. And we're going to be offering a very low monthly subscription, probably about $9. So a customer can come on and they can create their own cloud library. And then the higher priced subscriptions is just the amount of libraries you can create. So if you want to create, 20 different cloud libraries, you can do that on the higher subscription.
Okay.
And we felt that this was a way, you know, not everybody can afford to spend $100, $150 right now. And maybe some people don't see that need right now. They don't understand how powerful this can be for the client. So
Mhm.
we figured that this is a good way to help with some budgets, you know, that couldn't necessarily reach that. And also to give people a chance to see how cool Template Hero is and how much value it could really add for their clients. And it, again, doesn't even have to be WAS.
Yeah.
Something really cool we added, there's some helper functions that will give you access keys. So for instance, if you want to set up a design business and you design Elementor pages, we know there's companies out there right now. So you go on and you buy a design pack or you buy a pre-designed template. And how it works now is you download it. You know how it works. You go import it and it shows up in My Templates, that weird little tab. And there's businesses that are successful selling Elementor templates in this way.
Hmm.
So we wanted to shift that a little bit. So we've created some hooks and filters that you can hook up to WooCommerce or Gravity Forms or anything that you can, you know, charge with and use that to run a design business. So say you want to sell access to your premium template library, you can do so now. So you hook up our function in WooCommerce, for instance, and you could charge you know, $10 a month for access to your cloud library, however you want to do it.
Hmm.
Um, how it works is it's simply API key, right? So you have your cloud server, and this is either on our WAS or using our plugin, right? So you have the cloud server side, and then you have the client side. The cloud server is where you create and host all your templates,
Hmm.
right? And then the client side is simply a lightweight plugin that receives all the templates, right? So um, I would say one of the coolest things outside of WAS is the ability to charge. So
Hmm.
a client can come on, you know, buy your $10 product, and you can email them an API access key.
Okay.
They put this in, and the client plugin. They put this in their client plugin, and they have access to that library. Say you want to, you have another premium library that you come out with, and it's an add-on. So you can email that client and say, hey, I've got another library you might want access to.
Hmm.
Here's, you know, a great deal on it. And you can sell them an additional library. Now they can take that key and they can add that into the client, and that'll add the library. So you can have unlimited libraries on the
Okay.
client side as well.
So you just
So
keep adding new keys and
yeah,
new.
and it'll
Okay.
pull those libraries in and pull it on the list of libraries, and they can switch in between libraries. So it's very powerful. It's again, I'm excited because it's not just to give your clients this huge value, but you can also use it to make money if you need
Yeah.
to, you know. So you know, I know plenty of designers out there that are using the old clunky Elementor system that I think would really benefit from something like this. So
Yeah. Uh, you mentioned that there's a sync button. So the question I have is that what if something happens with the cloud server? So where you're building your templates, when you trigger the sync process, are those templates being copied over? So would they still be available if something happens
okay,
with the cloud
so
server?
yeah, it's interesting how Elementor does that. So they have it separated into your assets and then your data. And what we're doing essentially is we pull. that data into a transient. It gets cached.
Okay.
And so that data is on the client site. Now, what is not ever pulled in is all the images.
Okay.
So all
That
those
makes sense.
images are still links on that server site. So while your templates would definitely be in your library, if they try to insert them, they would find that those images aren't showing because the server site isn't live,
Okay.
right? Those images would be linked to that original server site.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see how that it's the best way to
Yeah,
do something
well,
like
I
this
mean,
right now.
immediately we tried a couple different ways, and immediately we found that if we try and bring those images in before they insert onto a page, we're introducing major bloat, major bloat. So rather, because what if say you include 100-page templates, right? Do
Yeah.
you want and now say you have 500 subsites, right? You're doing really well. Doing really well with Ultimo. You have 500 subsites, and you have this awesome design package of 100-page templates. If we were to push those out to all those subsites
Yeah.
and push all those images into all those subsites, 100 pages times 500 subsites,
Yeah.
can you imagine the storage and the bloat that would, I mean, it would just be insane. So we take a cue from Beaver, Brizzy, Elementor. They all do it the same way. Those images are hosted on your server, your
Mm-hmm.
cloud server. And so it has to be live for those images to show.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So the product is called Template Hero. So it's not Elementor Template Hero.
Yeah.
So my
Template
question is,
Hero or
for
Elementor.
Elementor, yeah.
Yeah.
So my question is, on the WAS version of the product, uh, are those going to be separated by each page builder, or with one account, I would have access to Elementor Beaver Builder when that's released? How would that work?
Yeah. Okay. So for our WAS offering, we are packaging all of the template hero versions into our WAS,
Okay.
right? So you will have Elementor, Beaver. We're looking into Oxygen and Brizzy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the plugin version itself, not the WAS offering, will be separate versions. We've discussed this a good amount, and it goes back to, again, how these page builders are built. They're so fundamentally different
Yeah.
that it would be a ton of different code in that plugin, one for, sets of classes for each page builder.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, one of the things we don't want to do is introduce a bunch of code we're not using into a plugin. And it's very rare that customers are using both Beaver and Elementor Pro on one site. It
Yeah.
just doesn't happen, right? They pick a builder and they use it. So 99% of the cases, you would have a ton of extra code sitting there, bloat and security risk that's not being used, and we'd only be using one small portion of that plugin. So early on, we decided that the plugin versions need to be separate versions.
Yeah.
We did do some discussion on what we're calling like an all access pass, where you'll have one subscription or one kind of fee for WaaSHero, and you get all the template hero versions.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that there are designers and there are developers and WAS owners out there that do have more than one WAS site that would want both.
Yeah.
So we're definitely coming up with some kind of solution to get that multi-license in there.
Yeah. I agree with that approach. We actually had to make that decision for Admin Pages Pro.
Yeah.
But since the scope it's much smaller, in the end, it made sense to bundle all of those things together into the
Yeah.
same product. But I agree. I don't like to see all of, because as you said, there are each page builder approaches things very differently.
So
So
differently. Yeah.
if you look the code base for Admin Pages Pro, you'll see that each of the classes that add support for each page builder, they look
Yeah.
completely different.
They're different. They're so
Yeah,
different. I bet. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
I
you
can
feel me on
understand
that.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then when you get into the amount of classes and methods that we have to write and extend just for one page builder to get the
Mm-hmm.
templating function to work, you see why we had to separate that. So yeah, it's we're just super excited. We've had great feedback for it so far. And we've actually already have an update coming up that improves compatibility with caching. So one thing that um, we do really like at WaaSHero is the direction that WordPress is going. You know, it has REST API, Gutenberg. In the future, we will probably come up with something for Gutenberg. And these are very powerful, kind of future-proof things that we're putting into WordPress, especially REST API.
Mm-hmm.
We've done some experimenting creating a REST API React-driven admin area and some other things like that. We really think the future is going there. And we do some development with Laravel and other apps as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're out of the WordPress circle and you see what other modern apps are doing as well, you realize, okay, wait, WordPress is actually heading in this
Yeah.
direction. We
Yes.
are actually modernizing a core, which is awesome. So that's something that we make sure we use in our plugins. So we're using the REST API to deliver all the data for the templates,
Mm-hmm.
and that's cacheable. So we've created a nice little system that will automatically renew your cache when you've updated on the server side. That way, we've got it down to where that server side plugin is mainly cached with your REST API.
Mm-hmm.
So you can hit it hard and you're really not taxing the server at all. It's awesome. We did some stress tests on it, and it's super powerful. So one cool thing with that is that now we're available to, since we tied into the REST API, we're able to put in any extra data or anything that we want. So we're thinking about adding some cool features, like what do we want to send data? Do we want to allow users to pick by category or favorite things?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something we just did in this last update that's live now, is we tied into Elementor's favorites, and now users can favorite templates and it'll save in that cache. And anytime they log into their library, they can sort all the templates by their favorites. So that's just one, for instance, but we'll be adding some cool little usability features in as well because of that. So
Yeah, interesting to hear
we're
that
excited.
because
Yeah.
because uh, the one of the major headaches that every WordPress developer faces is that people, like, you can be 100% sure that you have people hosting the cloud server plugin on a $5 instance of DigitalOcean and serving templates to 200 clients, and
Absolutely.
they're going to
Absolutely.
send a support message when that cloud server is not able to
Mhm.
handle all of those requests. So it's good to hear that
Exactly.
you guys are taking care of the caching part and making sure that the server can handle that.
Yeah, I mean, that's really, it's funny you mentioned that, because one of our test users, that's immediately what happened. They went and just got a cheap server, went live with the plugin immediately, and then you know, their clients jumped on it, and then the same thing. Oh, you know, the server keeps going down. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. So you're guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
And that's something that we can't control as developers. You know, people are at all different levels. So if that's what they can afford,
Yeah.
and they want to, and that's what they can do, like we were going to do our best to get our plugin to work with that. So that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
Is to really make it foolproof as well. You know, like, you know, not to ramble too much, but as developers, we have a different knowledge. So sometimes we think, oh, well, why would you do that? Come
Yeah.
on, like, don't you know, right? Well, they don't know. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of users don't. They're brand new. They want to run a business. They want to get something started.
And
So
that's something that you have to do. You have to be very conscious about doing, because
yes,
as developers, we tend to think in a different manner, in
yeah,
terms like we want to have all the options right there in front of us, and we want to know what the plugin is capable of. Most
hmm,
users just want to toggle a switch and have things
yes,
working as soon as possible without any headaches. So yeah, it's something
yep.
that it's hard to get right sometimes. But yeah,
Take some testing. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, like, it's just a classic joke that um, is become just a running joke in our office for the last 2 years. Can it be a button? Because we've had clients, not anymore because we're very conscious of it, but at the beginning, I can't tell you the amount of times clients went, well, can't we just make that into a button?
yeah,
Can't can we just click it? Right? And it's literally in one phrase what users want, right? They want
yeah,
solve my problem, and let me click a green button and then tell me that it's solved, right?
yeah,
And that's it. So, you know, that's definitely we say it all the time. When we're in our meetings and we catch somebody getting a little complicated, we'll say, can it just be a button? You know, and we'll laugh. But it really is like that, you know, if as developers, if we can get it to that point where they can just click a button, I mean, that's the ultimate goal.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I think we covered most of the things that I had on my notes here. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Wow, I think that's it. You know, I don't know if I've ever thanked you publicly, so give me a second. I just want to say from the
Yeah.
WaaSHero team, to you and your team, thank you so much. You know, I don't even know where our business would be right now if it wasn't for Ultimo. We have, because of Ultimo, we've moved, this has become our niche, and this is what we do. We set up WAS, we're setting up 4 WASs right now, right,
Wow.
for clients. This is what we do. So, and they're all WP Ultimo. We don't work with anything else. So thank you for building an amazing product. And I know everybody in this group thanks you as well. That's why we're here. So thank you
Thank
to
you.
you
That
and the
that means a
team.
lot.
I appreciate it.
And thanks for the help with the group. I know that these days, especially in quarantine, where I pretty much have to code because my house is so small that I don't really have anything else to do.
Right. That's what you got to do. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to code today.
So yeah, and sometimes I truly forget to open Facebook, and I see that there's a lot of mentions there, and I get my cell phone and I see that pretty much all the technical questions that I am the one supposed to be answering, they were already answered, and it was by you. So thank you for all the
Oh,
help.
you know, um, I love the community. I, I'm in different groups, and the Ultimo community, I don't know how it happened, if it's just the type of people that are waspreneurs, but we're just like a loving, awesome group. Like, you've created a great group. And in my opinion, everybody in the group should be doing everything they can to further Ultimo. I mean, we all use it, right? So if we want to be successful in our businesses using Ultimo, we do everything we can to help support Ultimo, to let people know, hey, it's here and we want it to grow. So also, I don't think we ever mentioned, but we do have some cool things that we're working on in the future. Um, you know, that we can announce at one point, where we have, I know you guys were talking about in 2.0, you have some awesome features that are coming out to support hosting and some other stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm also very excited about that. Um, and I'd like to give you also another props on sticking through all this madness and this craziness. The fact that you guys are still working hard and still aiming at releasing 2.0. I know that right now everybody's tense and stressed out, so I think that's
Yeah.
awesome working. You know, we're so
Actually,
close to
the
that.
whole the whole, as I said before, the whole quarantine things, it's actually had a huge impact on my productivity
Yeah.
overall, because we're living in Spain, and Spain has gone through a rough
Yes.
last couple of weeks here, and
Yes.
if you turn on the TV and the news, it's coronavirus all day long,
Right.
and we can't take it anymore. So I basically wake up and sit down on my computer and start coding. And yeah,
So, so you know, I would say the same thing. As just a side note on productivity. There was a week with our, we have five guys with our company, and
hmm
there was a week where we all moved from the office, out of the office into homework. And for a week I was just like, oh no, this isn't working. We were having trouble getting organized, we were having trouble getting meetings together. And then it seemed like week two, the opposite happened. We settled in, and we have been more productive as a team now, working in our own environments and doing these daily Zoom meetings.
yeah,
So it's interesting that, yeah, we had the same effect here. We actually started moving faster. Um,
yeah,
because
and
of that.
and I
It's
think a lot of businesses are going to realize that
yeah,
working remotely and having everyone do the tasks at their own pace, at their own
yeah.
environment, it's
It's
actually,
actually works better. So,
yeah,
you know, and I think, you know, where I know we're on a side note here, but I think that a lot of businesses are going to figure out that they don't need to spend that overhead for the office space. So
yeah, and
it's going
you
to be
don't need
interesting to
to
see.
limit yourself to the talent pool there's on your area. You can hire
Ah,
pretty
that's a
much
huge
all.
thing too. That is a
Yeah,
huge thing too, is that, well, as a company, we discovered that a while back, is um, stepping out of that local talent pool is key,
yeah.
actually, I think. So we could go off on that for days. But
Yeah,
all right, brother, I appreciate you. And you know, great webinar. I'm sure we'll get another one in very soon, and
yeah,
may have some more announcements for everybody.
yeah. Thank you, Jay. Yep. This, as I mentioned, this was a first. I think it was a great first. Let's hear from the group what they think. If we should do more interviews, maybe with more people from the community,
Yeah,
people that are building interesting products using WP Ultimo. I would love to do that, to interview and hear what people have gone through to get a product out.
yeah,
And I think that would be inspiring and help people finally get
yeah.
started and
I've got
push through.
we have a client that's doing like a really interesting build right now. And that might be a cool thing to do, is we can, if you want to start a series of um, introducing some different approaches that people have. I know a very common question in the group is, okay, so what are the successful WASs out there? Can
Yeah.
people show me what they're doing and what are the prices and what are you know, how did you do it? And since a lot of people are in a building stage and there's a lot of people that are a little nervous to give away their secret formula,
Yeah.
you know, those posts kind of become a bit of a ghost town. So I think it'd be very valuable to find some people that are further along, and I can help bring those people in. I've got one right now, it'd be great. And we can just have them demo their was okay, this is, you know, this is what people see, this is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking for pricing, this is the custom pages, you know, functionality that we're offering. uh, I think people would be really surprised at the diversity
Yeah.
that people are doing, because I mean, we have all, that's all over the board what people are offering as services, all the
Yeah.
way from classes to, I mean, I don't want to give away people's stuff, so but yeah, it's like, you know, it's
Yeah.
really awesome. So I think that'd
Yeah.
be really valuable to, maybe we could do a series of you know, WAS show and tells. It'd be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
and that's the thing that I find most interesting is that we call WP Ultimo a WaaS platform because we need it's already hard to explain as is. So if you
Yeah,
try to sell that as a SaaS platform, it's going to be even
yeah,
harder to explain. But it's interesting to see how uh, there are a lot of people that are actually building something that is not really a WaaS per se, but something more like a traditional SaaS service.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and it's super interesting to see that the
Let's,
product is
yeah,
actually powerful enough to do that.
I'd say at least about a third of our builds are more SaaS, where it's just a straight service. And yeah, it's really interesting. I love the ideas that people come with. And I would say every third or fourth idea, I just go, "Wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. I never would have thought of that. That's awesome." It's, again, it's the, you know, Ultimo's a powerful product, so it does a really cool core functionality that is fully extendable. And I really believe it's, your limit is just your imagination. Um, Imagination, time, budget, of course. You know,
Yeah.
but you know, without Ultimo, what would you do? You know, it's solving that whole problem that pro sites attempted to solve back in the day,
Yeah.
but didn't do well. So, you know, again, good job.
Thank you.
Let's see, Wayne. We got a comment from Wayne. I've been
Yeah.
thinking hard to solve my multi-site theme issues, and I think WAS template can help solve my problem once and for all. Do you have a demo login? We don't have a demo login, but I can talk to Joel maybe about creating some kind of demo for people to try out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Multi-site theme issues. I mean, yeah, that's exactly what this is for. I don't recommend installing a theme with Template Hero. This is probably just a good point to touch on real quick. We fully support the Hello theme that's designed and distributed by Elementor,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we don't recommend going with Astra or one of these other themes. We recommend using the Elementor theme itself because it's stripped down completely. The only thing that's in it is just very minimal JS, CSS, and a little bit of code for compatibility with like WooCommerce and Easy Digital.
Mm-hmm.
So we did a lot of testing, and even on Astro, which we're big fans of, Astro is coming in about 2 seconds for page load. Excuse me, and with the Hello Elementor theme, it was about 1.1 seconds. So
Okay.
it
Yeah.
shaved off a large amount
Mm-hmm.
of time and just the scripts and everything that they're loading. Um, so you couple this with that Hello theme, and you don't have theme issues. I mean, that's it. They have whatever designs you want to give them. You can give them a contact page, support page, you know, all the designs that you want, and multiple versions,
Yeah.
right? So you can give them 4 pricing tables and they can choose between those designs if that's what you want. So Wayne, that's to answer that question. This is exactly, it sounds like this is exactly what you need. If you want to message me, I'll try and have Joel put together some kind of demo if you guys want to log in and check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's it. If the people watching this want to check out the product, what's the URL?
Yep, so it's WaaSHero.com. I'll go ahead and put our URL in the comments. And let me go ahead and get the link. All right, so here's a direct link in the comments, and that'll take you right to it. It's WaaSHero.com, WaaS hero.com, and you'll see template hero for Elementor there. And we do have an early bird pricing. We know everything's a little crazy right now, so we did a deep discount of 40%. So that's available now. And also we will have, again, our WaaS offering hopefully within about a week. And that'll have like a monthly pricing for people as well if they want to just hop on that instead of buying the plugin.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, thank you, Jay, again for taking the time. Yeah, that was our community webinar.
Awesome. I had fun.
Yeah,
Thank you, Rindo.
thank you. Good night.
All right, you have a good one.